7. The Delhi Sultans. Chapter 3. Question number 1. What is the time of rule of Anagapala? Answer 1130 to 1145 AD. Question number 2. What was the other name for Iqtadar? Answer. The other name for Iqtadar is Mukti. Question number 3. Who abolished the Iqta system? Answer. Alauddin Khilji abolished the Iqta system. Question number 4. What was the language of administration under the Delhi Sultans? Answer. The Persian was the language of administration under the Delhi Sultans. Question number 5. From which country did Ibn Battuta travel to India? Answer. Ibn Battuta traveled to India from Morocco, Africa. Question number 6. When was Motki Masjid built? Answer. Motki Masjid was built in the reign of Sikandar Lodi by his minister. Question number 7. For how many years Suri dynasty ruled? The answer. The Suri dynasty ruled for only 15 years, 1542 1555 AD. Question number 8. Who made the plan to capture Mongol territory? Answer. Muhammad Tughlaq planned a campaign to capture Mongol territory. Question number 9. Which ruler first established his capital at Delhi? Answer. Tomara Rajput were the first rulers who established their capital at Delhi. Question number 10. What does the word mosque literally mean? A mosque is literally a place where a Muslim prostrate in reverence to Allah. Question number 11. In whose reign did Sultan reach its farthest extent? The Sultanate reached its farthest extent during the reign of Muhammad Tughlaq. Question number 12. When and where the ideas of three order was first formulated? Answer. The idea of the three orders was first formulated in France in the early 11th century. Question number 13. What is a mosque called in Arabic? Answer. A mosque is called masjid in Arabic, literally a place where Muslims prostrate in reverence to Allah. Question number 14. What was the duty of muftis? Answer. The duty of the muftis was to lead military campaign and maintain law and order their iktabs. Question number 15. Why did the author of Persian Tariq criticize the Delhi Sultan? The author of the Persian Tariq criticized the Delhi Sultans for appointing the low and base born to high officials. Question number 16. What is called Qibla? Answer. During the prayer, Muslims stand facing the Mecca. In India, this is to the west. This is called Qibla. Question number 17. Name the main mosque of Jahanpana. Answer. Behumburi Mosque, built in the reign of Muhammad Tughlaq, was the main mosque of Jahanpana. Question number 18. Who defeated the Tomara Rajputs and when? Answer. The Tomara Rajputs were defeated in the middle of the 12th century by the Chauhan, also referred as Chaumanas of Ajmer. Question number 19. Name the rulers who made the state directly responsible for the collection of land revenue. Answer. Alauddin Khilji made the state directly responsible for the collection of the land revenue. Question number 20. Name the famous traveler who came from Morocco, Africa in the 14th century. Answer. Ibn Battuta was the famous traveler who came from Morocco, Africa in the 14th century. Question number 21. Razia Sultana was unique in the history of the Delhi Sultanate. Do you think women leaders are accepted more readily today? Answer: yes, I think that as today scenario has changed due to spread of education, women leaders are accepted more readily today. Question number 22. When was Baghamburi Mosque built? The Baghamburi Mosque, built in the reign of Muhammad Tughlaq, was the main mosque of Jana Jahan Pana, the sanctuary of the world. World is new capital in Delhi. Question number 23. What do gender distinction mean? How was it used? Answer: gender distinction means social and biological differences between the women, and usually these differences are used to argue that men are superior to women. Question number 24. What were three types of taxes collected during the Sultanate period? Answer: there are there were three types of taxes. And number one, cultivation called Karaj, and amongst about 50% of the peasants produce. Number two, on cattle, and number three, on houses. Question number 25. What do you mean by birthright? Answer: the birth. Question number 29. What did the Iqtadars or Muktis do with the revenue they collected from the regions? Answer: in exchange for their military services, the Muktis collected the revenues of their assignments as salary. They also paid their soldiers from these revenues. Question number 30. What is meant by the internal and external frontiers of the Sultanate? Answer: the internal frontiers of the Sultanate means the inner lands of the garrison towns. The external frontiers of the Sultanate means unconquered territories such as southern India. Question number 31. Alauddin administrative measures were successful. Command. Answer: Alauddin administrative measures were quite successful, and chronicler praised his reign for his cheap prices and efficient supplies of goods in the market. He successfully withstood the threat of Mongol invasion. Question number 32. Name the rulers of the Delhi Sultanate after Iltutmish. What Minhaj-e-Siraj thought about these rulers? Answer: in 1236, Sultan Iltutmish daughter Razia Begum became the Sultan. After Iltutmish, Minhaj-e-Siraj thought that the Queen's rule went against the ideal. Question number 33. According to the Circle of Justice, why was it important for military commanders to keep the interest of the peasantry in mind? Answer: according to the Circle of Justice, it was important for military commands to keep the interest of the peasantry in mind, because soldiers' salaries came from the revenue collected from the peasants, and peasants can pay revenue only when they are prosperous and happy. Question number 34. List the five dynasty of the Delhi Sultan. The five dynasty of the Delhi Sultanates are: 1. Early Turkish rulers 1206 to 1290. Number 2. Gilji dynasty 1290 to 1320. Third, Tughlaq dynasty 1322 1414. Sayyid dynasty 1414 to 1451. And last, the Lodi dynasty 1451 to 1526. Question number 35. Why the early Delhi Sultans, especially Iltutmish, favored their special slaves purchased for military service? Answer: The early Delhi sultans, especially Iltutmish, favored their special slaves purchased for military service because they were carefully trained to maintain some of the most important political offices in the kingdom. Since they were totally dependent upon their masters, the sultans could trust and rely upon them. Question number 36. What were the four stages involved in the preparation of the manuscript? Answer: the four stages in the preparation of the manuscript: preparing the paper, writing the text, and melting gold to highlight important words and passages, and preparing the binding. Question number 37. Who were the Bandagons and what was their role in Delhi Sultanate? Answer: the early Delhi Sultans, especially Iltutmish, favored their special slaves purchased for military services called Bandagan in Persian. They were carefully trained to man some of the most important political offices in the kingdom. Since they were totally dependent upon their master, the Sultan could trust and rely upon them. Question number 38. Why do you think Barani criticized the Sultan? The Sultan Muhammad Dughlaq appointed Aziz Kumar, a wine distiller, Firoz Ajam, a barber Mai of Tabak, a cook and two gardener, and Lada and Fira to high administrative post. Ziauddin Barani, a mid 14th century chronicler, reported their appointment as sign of the Sultan, loss of political judgment and his incapacity to rule. Question number 39. What was the impact of the Mongol invasion on the Delhi Sultanate? Answer: the impact of the Mongol invasion of the Delhi Sultanate, Alauddin constructed new garrison town named Siri for his soldiers. He imposed taxes at 50% of the peasants held to feed the army. He began to pay his soldiers salaries in cash rather than iktas. But to Muhammad Dughlaq shifted his residence of Delhi to the new capital of Daulatabad, Devagiri in the south, and converted Delhi into garrison town. Question number 40. How did Delhi become an important city in the 12th century? Answer: the Delhi first became the capital of kingdom under the Tomara Rajputs, who were defeated in the middle of the 12th centuries by the Chauhans, also referred as Chaumanas of Ajmer. It was under the Tomaras and Chauhanas that Delhi became an important commercial center. Many rich Jaina merchants lived in the city and constructed several temples. Coins minted here called Delhi Wall had wide circulation. Question number 41. Why did the rulers of the Delhi Sultanate fail to control the hinterlands initially? They told that the Sultan seldom controlled the hinterland of the cities and were therefore depended upon the trade, tribute, or plunder for the supplies. Controlling the garrison town in distant Bengal and Sindh from Delhi was extremely difficult. Rebellion, war, even bad weather could snap fragile communication routes. The state was also challenged by the Mongol invasion from the Afghanistan and by governor who rebelled at any sign of the Sultan weakness. Question number 42. Who was Russia? Why was removed from the throne? Answer: Russia was the Sultan Iltutmish's daughter. In 1236, she became the Sultan. The chronicler of the age, Minaj-i-Siraj, recognized that she was more able and qualified than all her brothers, but he was not comfortable at having a queen as a ruler, nor were the nobles happy at her attempts to rule independently. So she was removed from the throne in 1240. Question number 43. Write a short note on idea of three orders formulated in France in the early 11th century. Answer: the idea of the three orders was first formulated in France in the early 11th century. It divided society into three classes: those who prayed, those who fought, and those who tilled the land. This division of the society into three orders was supported by the church to consolidate its dominant rule in society. This helped the emergence of new warrior group called knights. Question number 44. Discuss the importance of the constructing mosque by the rulers of Delhi Sultanate. Answer: the Delhi Sultans built several mosques in cities all over the subcontinent. These demonstrated their claims to be the protectors of Islam and Muslims. Mosques also helped to create the sense of a community of believers who shared a belief system and code of conduct. It was necessary to reinforce this idea of community because the Muslim came from variety of background. Question number 45. What do you know about Quwad ul Islam Mosque? Answer: the Quwad ul Islam Mosque and minaret built during the last decade of the 12th century. This was the congregational mosque of the first city built by the Delhi Sultans, described in the chronicles as Delhi Khana, the old city. The mosque was enlarged by the Iltutmish and Alauddin Khilji. The minar was built by the three Sultan Qutbuddin Aibak, Iltutmish, and Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Question number 46. Why were the Delhi Sultan interested in cutting down the forest? Does deforestation occur for the same reason today? Answer: the forests were cleared in Ganga, Yamuna, Thop, and hunter-gatherer and pastoralists expelled from their habitat. These lands were given to the peasants and agriculture was encouraged. New fortresses towns were established to protect the trade routes and to promote regional trade. No deforestation does not occur for the same reasons today. Today, forests are cleared due to the overpopulation, urbanization, and commercialization. Question number 47. What were the two reasons that prompted Muhammad bin Tughlaq to shift the capital of Dauladabad? Answer: the two reasons that prompted Muhammad bin Tughlaq to shift the capital to Dauladabad were: number one, the king felt that would be able to control and administer the empires better from Dauladabad since it was located in the center of empire. Number two, the Mongols were constant the threat to the Delhi. Dauladabad would be the safe from the Mongol attack. Question number 48. Muhammad Tughlaq administrative measures were a failure. How? Answer: Muhammad bin Tughlaq administrative measures were failure. His campaign introduced into Kashmir was disaster. He then gave up his plans to invade and Transoxia and disbanded his large army. Meanwhile, his administrative measures created complication. The shifting of the people to the Dauladabad was resented. The rising of the taxes and famine in the Ganga Yamuna belt led to the widespread rebellion, and finally the token currency had to be recalled. Question number 49. Write a short note on the token currency system introduced by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Answer: the Muhammad bin Tughlaq also paid his soldiers cash salary, but instead of controlling the prices, he used token currency, somewhat like present day paper currency, but made out of cheap metals, not gold and silver. People in the 14th century did not trust these coins. They were very smart. They saved their gold and silver coin and paid all their taxes to the state with this token currency. This cheap currency could also be counterfeited easily. Question number 50. Why did Alauddin control the price of goods in Delhi? What did he do for this? Answer. Alauddin Khilji raised a large standing army. These soldiers had to be paid. Alauddin chose to pay his soldiers' salaries in the cash rather than iktabs. The soldiers would buy their supplies from the merchants in Delhi, and it was thus feared that merchants would raise their prices. To stop this, Alauddin controlled the prices of the goods in Delhi. Prices were carefully surveyed by officers, and merchants who did not sell at the prescribed rates were punished. Question number 51. What forced the two rulers of Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad Tughlaq to mobilize a large standing army in Delhi? Write briefly about the invasion of the Mongol and its results. Answer. The Mongols under Genghis Khan invaded the Transoxiana in northeast Iran in 1219, and the Delhi Sultan faced then onslaught. Soon after, Mongol attacks on the Delhi Sultanate increased during the reign of Alauddin Khilji and in the early years of the Muhammad Tughlaq rule. This forced the two rulers of the mobilize a large standing army into Delhi, which posed a huge administrative challenge. Question number 52. Write about the authors of the Dwarik in brief, or discuss the circumstances under which the author of the Dwarik wrote the chronicles. Answer. About the author of Dwarik. Number 1. The author of Dwarik lived in the cities, mainly Delhi, and hardly ever in villages. Number 2. They often wrote their stories for Sultan in the hope of rich rewards. Number 3. These authors advised rulers on the need to preserve an ideal social order based on the birthright and gender distinction. Number 4. Their ideas were not shared by everybody. Question number 53. Describe the ways in which the chieftains arranged for their defense. Answer. The chieftains sometimes fortified themselves in mountains, in the rocky, uneven and rugged places as well. As in bamboo grows in the India, the bamboo is not hollow, it is big. It is several parts are so intertwined that even fire cannot affect them. And they are on the whole very strong. The chieftains live in these forests which serve them as a rampart, inside which are their cattle and their crops. There is also water for them within, that is the rainwater which collects there. Hence, they cannot be subdued except by powerful armies. Entering these forests, cut down the bamboos with a specially prepared instrument. Question number 54. Why did large parts of the subcontinent remains outside the control of the Delhi Sultan? What were its effects? Or describe the provincial administrations under the rule of Delhi Sultan. Answer. It is important to remember that large parts of the Delhi subcontinent remained outside the control of the Delhi Sultan. It was difficult to control distant provinces like Bengal from Delhi, and soon after the annexing the southern India, the entire region because independent. Even in the Gangetic Plain, there were forested area that Sultanate forces could not penetrate. Local chieftains established their rule in these region. Sometimes rulers like Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad Tughlaq could force their control in these areas, but only for short duration. Question number 55. What were the steps taken to ensure the Muktis performed their duties? Why do you think they have wanted to defy the orders of the sultans? Answer. The steps taken in to ensure that Muktis performed their. Question number 56. What did the Gulji and Tughlaq help people humble birth? How did they lead to the political instability? Answer. The Gilji and Tughlaq raised the people of humble birth who were often their clients to high political position. They were appointed as general and governors. However, this also introduced an elements of the political instability. Slaves and clients were loyal to their masters and patrons, but not their heirs. New Sultan had their own servants. As a result, the accession of the new monarch of so conflict between the old and the new nobility. The patronage of these humble people by the Delhi Sultan also shocked many elites, and the authors of Persian Doric criticized the Delhi Sultan for appointing the low and base born uh, to high officers. Question number 57. Who was Sher Shah? What was remarkable about his administration? Answer: Sher Shah 1542-1545 started his career as the manager of small territory for his uncle in Bihar and eventually challenged and defeated the Mughal Emperor Humayun 1530-1540. Again 1555 to 1556. Sher Shah captured Delhi and established his own dynasty. Although the Sher Shah dynasty ruled for only 15 years, 1540 to 1555, it introduced an administration that borrowed elements from the Alauddin Khilji and made them more efficient. Sher Shah's administration became the model followed by the great Emperor Akbar 1556 to 1605 when he consolidated the Mughal Empire. Question number 58. Do you think the author of Dwarik would provide information about the lives of ordinary men and women? Answer: no, I don't think, because of the following reason. Number one, the author of Dwarik lived in the cities, mainly in Delhi, and hardly ever in villages. Number two, they often wrote their stories for sultans in the hope of rich rewards. They had nothing to do with the common people. Number three, these authors advised rulers on the need to preserve an ideal social order based on birthright and gender distinction. Their ideas were not shared by everybody. Question number 59. Write a short note on internal frontier and external frontier. Answer: the first set of campaign along the internal frontier of the Sultan aimed at consolidating the hinterland of the garrison town. During this campaign, forests were cleared in the Ganga Yamuna Top, and hunter gatherers and pastoralists expelled from their habitat. These lands were given to the peasants and agriculture was encouraged. New fortresses and towns were established to protect trade routes and to promote regional trade. The second expansion occurred along the external frontier of the Sultan military expedition into southern India started the Sultanate. Military expedition into the southern India started during the reign of Alauddin Khilji and culminated with Muhammad Tughlaq in their campaign. Sultanate armies captured the elephants, horses, and slaves and carried away a precious metal. Write a short note on Alauddin administration. Alauddin administration measures. Delhi was attacked twice, and as a defensive measures, Alauddin raised a large standing army. Number two, Alauddin constructed a new garrison town and named Sri for his soldiers. Number three, the soldiers had to be paid. This was done through the produce collected as a tax from the lands between the Ganga and Yamuna. Tax was fixed to 50% of the peasants' yield. Number four, the soldiers had to be paid. Alauddin chose to pay his soldiers' salaries in cash rather than niktas. Soldiers would buy their supplies from the merchants in Delhi, and it was thus feared that merchants would raise their prices. To stop this, Alauddin controlled the prices of goods in Delhi. Prices were carefully surveyed by officers, and merchants who did not sell at the prescribed rates were punished. Question number 61. Write a short note on Muhammad Tughlaq's administration. Muhammad Tughlaq administration, the Sultan was attacked in the early years of Muhammad Tughlaq reign. He therefore raised a large standing army, but to rather constructing a new garrison town, the oldest of the four cities, Delhi Kuna, emptied of its residents and soldiers garrison there. The residents of the old city were sent to the new central of Dauladabad in south. Number three, the produce from the same area collected as a tax fed the army, but to meet the need of the large number of soldiers, the Sultan levied additional taxes. Number four, Muhammad Tughlaq also paid his soldiers cash salaries. He introduced token currency made out of cheap metal. People in the 14th century did not trust these coins. They saved their gold and silver coins and paid all their taxes to the state with this currency. This cheap currency could also be counterfeit easily.